In today's video, we'll be explaining the whole Jujutsu Kaisen story in only 10 minutes. No time to waste, let's get started. History of curses. Emotions are always important no matter where you go, but they are especially important in the Jujutsu Kaisen world. Negative emotions create cursed energy, and sometimes when the emotions build up, they create cursed spirits. Curses have existed since the dawn of time, and reached their peak during the Heian era, when the king of curses, Ryomen Sukuna, was born. Sukuna was a human sorcerer that strayed down the wrong path and killed many sorcerers from the golden age of Jujutsu. After his death, Sukuna became a cursed spirit so strong that his body could not be fully destroyed. The 20 remaining fingers of Sukuna were sealed and kept preserved throughout the years as cursed objects. They continue to grow in power every day. Humans with tremendous amounts of negative energy are capable of seeing cursed spirits which normal humans cannot see. These humans are trained as sorcerers to better control their cursed energy and use it to eliminate curses and protect humanity. Gojo's past arc. Over the years, the curses have gotten much stronger, but so have the sorcerers, with the next generation being exceptionally stronger. Specifically two sorcerers, Satoru Gojo and Suguru Geto. In 2006, these two sorcerers are just second-year students and are given an important mission to escort the Star Plasma Vessel to an immortal sorcerer, Master Tengen. Tengen's immortality demands that he change his body every 500 years, or there's a huge risk of him bringing harm to humanity. Therefore, the young sorcerers leave to find the vessel and safely escort her back. The two groups start to target the vessel, with one of them hiring the notorious sorcerer killer Toji Zenin. Toji's lack of cursed energy allows him to instantly beat the talented sorcerers and fulfill his mission of killing the vessel as well. However, the fight doesn't stop there, as Gojo surpasses his limits to beat Toji, unleashing a rare ability known by very few in the Gojo family, the Hollow Purple technique. Before dying, Toji mentions his son Megumi Fushiguro to Gojo, and how he sold him off to the Zenin family. A year later, while Satoru was thriving in the Jujutsu world as the strongest known sorcerer, Suguru feels isolated and questions his purpose as a sorcerer. He begins to think less of non-sorcerer humans. Geto reaches his breaking point when he goes on a mission and witnesses two young sorcerers being locked up and brutally treated by the villagers. Geto decides to join the dark side and eliminate all non-sorcerers. Satoru, on the other hand, disheartened by his best friend's actions, goes to look for Megumi and decides that he won't let Megumi walk down the same path. Cursed Child arc. Fast forward to 2016, Gojo is teaching in Tokyo Jujutsu High and comes across a special human, Yuta Okatsu. As a child, Yuta fell in love with Rika Orimoto, and both promised to get married once they were older. However, Rika died in a traffic accident and became a vengeful spirit. After a particular grave incident with Yuta's bullies, Gojo finds Yuta and gives him a chance to become a Jujutsu sorcerer and control Rika's powers. Due to the unique nature of Yuta's abilities and his unmatched strength, Geto takes an interest in him and announces an attack on Shinjuku and Kyoto. Suguru uses the attack as a distraction and confronts Yuta alone in Tokyo Jujutsu High, effectively defeating his classmates. Seeing this, Yuta loses control and fights against Geto, revealing his ability to copy other cursed techniques. As a final resort, Yuta frees Rika and promises to spend his entire life with her, which removes the limits on her power, allowing Yuta to effectively defeat Geto, forcing him to retreat. Geto dies at the hands of Gojo, but an ancient sorcerer known as Kenjaku reanimates him, planting his brain into Geto's corpse and taking over his body. Introduction arc. A year later, Megumi Fushiguro is on a mission to look for a special grade cursed object. He comes across Yuji Itadori, a student possessing extraordinary physical abilities, and is in an occult group who also happens to have the sealed Sukuna finger. Yuji's friends accidentally unseal the object, attracting strong curses to their location. Megumi and Yuji try to fight them off but are backed into a corner, and Yuji is forced to eat the cursed object to gain enough power to save everyone. Sukuna possesses Yuji's body and beats the curse with one hit. However, Sukuna is unable to overpower or even land a hit on the invincible Gojo Satoru. What's more, Yuji is the only one capable of holding back Sukuna and is given the opportunity to find the remaining fingers and eliminate them once and for all. Yuji gladly agrees and becomes Gojo's student, later meeting up with two of his classmates, Megumi Fushiguro and Nobara Kugisaki. Gojo sends Yuji and Nobara on a mission to exercise curses in Roppongi, and both do an incredible job. Cursed Womb arc. 2 weeks later, while Gojo is away, the trio is sent on an emergency mission to a detention center, where a cursed womb has appeared. Unfortunately, when they arrive, the cursed womb has already created the special grade curse that has massacred everyone at the facility. Nobara gets separated from the group, and Yuji forces Megumi to look for her and leave, so he can let Sukuna out and defeat the curse. Sukuna easily beats the curse with his domain expansion. Yuji is unable to regain control, making Sukuna run free and take his body as a hostage by ripping his heart out. Megumi fights Sukuna, and Yuji regains consciousness just in time, but he ends up dying. Cursed Training arc. Following Yuji's death, Pseudo Geto, Jogo, and Hanami meet up to discuss the next course of action. Meanwhile, Megumi and Nobara are saddened over the death of their friend. Megumi and Nobara get bullied by Aoi Todo and Mai Zenin, who are senior students at the Kyoto High School. Upon returning, Gojo learns about Yuji's death and blames the higher-ups for it. At the same time, Sukuna and Yuji form a binding vow, and as a result, Yuji is resurrected directed. Gojo decides to keep this a secret and personally trains Yuji. Gojo then uses his fight with Jogo to demonstrate how domain expansions work. Versus Mahito arc, Yuji continues his training with Nanami, a first-grade sorcerer who is not very fond of his job. Both leave on a mission to investigate transfigured human corpses, which were the work of a cursed spirit named Mahito. A young high schooler, Junpei Yoshino, is dragged in by Mahito, who manipulates him and darkens his thoughts about humans. The sorcerers find out about Junpei being a witness, and Yuji becomes good friends with him. Mahito kills Junpei's mother, further manipulating him and changing him into a cursed spirit. Yuji fights Junpei, convincing him to stop, and asks Sukuna to help him, to which the King of Curses coldly refuses. Mahito tries to impress Sukuna, but fails badly and almost dies. But before Yuji and Nanami could finish him off, Mahito escapes and recovers underground. Kyoto Goodwill event. After the mission, Yuji makes his return with Gojo, just in time for the Kyoto Goodwill event. However, Nobara and Megumi aren't too happy to be held in the dark about the true situation. What's more, Yuji is targeted again by the higher-ups, but this time the Kyoto High School students are ordered to kill him. The battle between the two schools begins, and the students give their all. Maki and Mai remove their misunderstanding, while Todo and Yuji bond over their similar taste in women, and become best friends. However, the event is interrupted by Mahito's group, laying a barrier that only forbids Gojo from entering the area of the event. Meanwhile, the sorcerer tried to hold back the special grade curse spirit Hanami, but failed to deal much damage. Todo and Yuji put up a great fight against Hanami, working as if they've known each other for years. The barrier breaks and Gojo enters the area, smoothly taking out the invaders using his hollow purple technique on Hanami from far away, which he barely manages to escape from. Death Painting Arc. Afterward, the trio is assigned another mission revolving around the mysterious deaths occurring in Megumi's former school. The sorcerers find that Megumi's sister's condition and the deaths might be linked to the Yasuhachi Bridge. Megumi manages to exorcise the curse under the bridge, but finds another curse hidden, bearing one of Sukuna's fingers. The special grade curse proves to be quite powerful, forcing Megumi to surpass his limits and unleash his domain expansion. Nobara and Yuji also put up a great fight, using the Black Flash together. The trio manages to complete the mission successfully, with Sukuna forcefully eating one of his fingers to gain more power. Shibuya Incident Arc. A few days later, the first-year students meet with Udahime, who informs them about a certain mole operating with Mahito's group, Kokichi Muda. As the trio investigates the situation, Kokichi meets up with Mahito and Sudogero to remove the restriction on his body. Mahito decides to kill him instead, starting a fight between the two. Kokichi uses all his techniques on Mahito, who barely manages to get away after killing the Mekumaru user. On Halloween, October 31st, Sudogero works with other cursed spirits and cursed users to seal Satoru Gojo once and for all. A massive barrier is cast around Shibuya, with the residents inside calling for Gojo to help. The Jujutsu sorcerers try to look for the cursed users behind the multiple screens around the area. Satoru Gojo enters the Shibuya station and fights against the special grade curses. Gojo easily exorcises Hanami in the train full of mutated humans that arrives with Mahito. However, Sudogero appears, shocking Gojo and distracting him enough to seal him in the prison realm. Sudogero then reveals his identity, and Gojo tries to appeal to the remnants of Geto's consciousness left in the body. Before dying, Kokichi had made arrangements to communicate and guide the Jujutsu sorcerers during his period, and inform them of Gojo being sealed. Takuma Ino, a second-grade sorcerer, fights against Ogami and her grandson. Takuma tries to hold them off, but Ogami's grandson transforms into Toji Zenin and easily beats them. Toji takes over the body and then kills Ogami as well. The Jujutsu sorcerers enter the station and fight against the cursed womb that has evolved into Dagon. Dagon is extremely strong, and the sorcerers struggle to defeat him, till Toji appears and single-handedly defeats him without much trouble. Toji then starts to fight with Megumi, realizing later that he is fighting his son, and so he kills himself. Jogo appears and attacks the sorcerers, badly wounding Maki and Nanami. Yuji enters Shibuya Station and fights against Choso, who knocks him out but doesn't kill him due to some false memory in his mind. Yuji is then fed 2 of Sukuna's fingers in his unconscious state, while Gojo forcefully gives him the remaining 10 to bring Sukuna out. An epic fight breaks between Sukuna and Jogo, but Sukuna comes out unscathed and exorcises Jogo with flame manipulation technique. Sukuna then heads towards Megumi, who has just learned the powerful 10 Shadows technique, and has summoned General Maharaga. Sukuna fights against Maharaga, one of the strongest Shikigami, and barely manages to beat it. Sukuna then switches with Yuji, who breaks down, thinking that he will be executed soon. But his pain doesn't end there, as Mahito kills Nanami and Nobara to further break his soul. Todo appears just in time to save his best friend, and snaps Yuji back to normal. Sudogero suddenly appears, absorbing Mahito and revealing the binding vows he had made with the strongest sorcerers from a millennium ago. Choso realizes the true identity of Sudogero and becomes Yuji's older brother. Itadori's extermination arc. Meanwhile, the execution is given for Geto, Yuji, and Yakamasa Michi. Unsealing Gojo is declared to be a serious criminal act, as he is considered an accomplice in the Shibuya incident. Yuta Ogatsu returns and is made responsible for executing Yuji. Yuta fakes his death as per Gojo's request, and supports Yuji due to their similar circumstances. Megumi asks Yuji to help him save his sister, as all curse users have been made part of the culling game. The Jujutsu sorcerers visit Master Tengen to discuss the current situation of the culling game and ask him about unsealing Gojo. Master Tengen shares his role in the upcoming battle royale and mentions Hana Caruso, who can unseal Gojo with her curse technique. Meanwhile, Maki uses Megumi's authority as head of the clan to enter the Zenin household, brutally killing all of the members and beating up Naoya Zenin, with Maki's mother dealing the final blow. Yuji and Megumi enter the underground fight club to recruit a suspended Jujutsu sorcerer, Kinji Hikari. Tokyo #1 Colony Arc. Now the Culling Game has begun, dividing Japan into 9 colonies. Yuji and Megumi are heading towards the first colony to find a powerful lawyer named Hiromi Higuruma. Both sorcerers manage to overcome the obstacles in their path, and Yuji also convinces Higuruma to save him his 100 points. However, this is only the beginning of the deathmatch between all sorcerers around Japan, and nobody knows what Tsutogeto hopes to gain from all the massacre. Check out this video, where we explain the entire Demon Slayer story in only 10 minutes.